Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. It is Saturday as we begin this, and that means it's Star Wars Saturdays. It's an ongoing anthology campaign that I've been running for a number of years where we take different indie small press and sometimes OSR games, reskin them, drift them, hack them, and say, hey, it's in Star Wars now, and we play. We have a number of folks who have shuffled in and out, playing different characters, sometimes revisiting those characters in different systems or playing related versions of them. Some folks are even experts on particular species or droids. It's great. This is August as we are recording, and we are playing a 1 month mini series of Starlight. Starlight is a game that I found on Itch. It is a space opera styled Powered by the Apocalypse tabletop RPG. It is a draft kind of ashcan was released in 2023. That is what we are playing. If there have been updates, I haven't found them on the itch. And so we have hacked its loose setting to fit into the Clone Wars era of Star Wars, meaning that we have the Confederacy of Independent Systems, the droids versus the clones, which are fighting for the Republic. The Republic is the current Galactic Republic that also has a bunch of Jedi. Order 66, where all the Jedi were hunted by their clone troopers, has yet to happen. And we're currently, this series is played in a place out in the Outer Rim. I'm not going to get too deep into lore and the like because it's not necessary. But you're currently on a planet called Yelsane. Yelsane is notable for its low gravity, its tall, tall trees, and its generally technologically xenophobic populace. Very small populace for a planet. For those who have ever read Star Wars planet information, primarily from West End Games or other Edge of the Empires also carried that forward. The numbers are in the billions to billions, the billions on planets, right? This one has million-ish, few million. That's it. And all of them are formed into small communities, but they are very expressly anti use of high amounts of technology, which is interesting because a couple members of your crew are currently standing in the middle of an ancient factory, the Great Machine, as described by a particular Jawa who you have befriended, question mark. His name is Tikkit. And Tikkit is excited after being freed from carbonite that you found him frozen in and has led you here, you being Antrisk and Fennin. And then to make things safe, because the guys stumbled into a small drug running operation, a drug creation operation run by the Pike Syndicate, the pilot and co-pilot of the Orbac, your ship, decided to lead them away so that everyone else could go down into the great factory. So Temtel is up, heading towards space, trying to break the atmosphere and leave behind this Pike starfighter that is chasing you. Let's do a quick roll around to do quick intros, and then we will jump into the session. As a note, Mark is one of our players. He's unable to join us this week. He's traveling. He will rejoin us soon. So we have 3 players today. Let's start with the 2 folks who are down on the ground. If we could, Keith, please introduce yourself and tell us briefly about your character.
My name is Keith. I use the he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Antrisk Kakul, she, her, a Bothan mechanic who is on the run from an arranged marriage and pouring all of her passion into keeping our ship, the Orbac, a vintage, not old ship, running well, and also apparently being the object of affection for the entire galaxy. Everybody has a crush on Antrisk. I guess she just looks really cuddly. She does have that soft Bothan fur and lovely feline face. And she is seeking belonging. But the one line that she will not cross is to sacrifice the well-being of the crew for personal gain.
Note to self: find some personal gain to offer interest if she only will sacrifice the well-being of the crew.
It's not going to
Brian,
happen.
Brian, you are up next. Please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your character.
Yeah. I'm Brian, he, him, playing Fennin, the Shadow. Guess we've interpreted that as basically being a thief, cat burglar type character, who, yeah, stole from other criminals and has fled the repercussions of that out here. And yeah, the line he won't cross is he will not let the vulnerable become his collateral damage.
Yes. Yes. Threaten vulnerable folks. Great. 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 Cool. And then up in the sky is Stephen. Stephen, please introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about your character.
Hi, my name is Steven. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Temtel Screech, whose pronouns are he, they. And Temtel is the scoundrel playbook. He's lucky and talks real fast and, makes things up and just tries to make sure everything's going to go well for all of us. My line that I won't cross is I won't betray my family again. I was a member of kind of a noble family and then was running like a street scam, and they caught wind of it and kicked me out. I've had trouble with the pikes while I was trying to make my way around and, make money and that kind of thing, get more riches. Um, and yeah, I think I'm in it to move forward. Now, there is my drive is liberty, freedom.
Freedom. Awesome. Let's start with freedom. The freedom of the open skies, the freedom that you might find if you make it to space before this Pike starfighter catches up to you. I think I'm going to go uh, yeah, well, I say starfighter, but it was, we had defined it as a small light freighter. So it is a little bit faster than your lovely Orbach. The Orbach is a Wayfarer class of medium class transport, and she uh, has lots of redundancies, but can be a little bit touchy. Your pilot, Valera, is doing her best to try to put some distance between you and the Pikes, but I know that she's an NPC and can't roll dice, which means, Temtel, you're going to need to do some stuff here. So,
So I need to start by rolling dice. I have a
oh,
start of
that's right.
session
Your
move,
lucky
which is
stuff.
Lucky
Thank
Bastard.
you. Thank you very
Um,
much.
and my stat is one lower than it was last time because sold
Oh,
shifts.
that's
So I'm going to roll
right.
Lucky Bastard.
We need to get a score, or else it's going to shift again.
That's an
That's
8,
right.
right? So that means I
That
have
is
one luck. Okay.
yeah.
No,
Cool.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You go ahead.
Oh, it'll go down to negative, was all Keith was saying. So we got a score this time around. Sweet. Great. So the way that this scheme interprets doing stuff in space is that we still mostly lean on the basic moves. There are some specific damage ratings for the ship. The ship has a size rating, a defenses rating, and a firepower rating. Unfortunately, two of the three of those are 0. So I think we should attempt to, yeah, you'll in combat you triggered appropriate new moves as normal. You use firepower and defenses in place of harm and armor ratings. And vessels with a larger size plate take +1 power and defense for each level of size difference. I will say this is a medium class transport, and the Pike, as I just said moments ago, is a light class. You actually get a +1 there, but you are trying to outdistance her. So I think we should look at our basic moves and see what seems most appropriate. Seems like face danger might be what you're trying to do.
Okay. And that is daring.
Mm-hmm. But you happen to be quite daring, so I'm sure
I
everything will be
am.
fine.
So I'll roll. Oh, I can actually. Is face staring in the pull down list? Let's see.
Yep. There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay. I'll just do it that way. Let me click to roll. That is a 10.
Hey, strong hit. You do it no problem. So, what does it look like as you, the staunch captain, and your pilot, Valera, navigate, making your way into space to hopefully lose these guys?
So I think what happens, we see Valera like start to sweat, and we see her enter a cloud bank, and then we see the Pike ship come into the same cloud bank after us, and we see it like we see through its viewport, cloud, and it breaks through. We don't see the Orbac anywhere, and then from a far distance away, we see the Orbac pierce the clouds and then come up where Valera has actually gone along through the clouds to shift away from where the pikes think we would be. It's not a straight shot, and we're closer to where the CIS ship is, and we are going to pierce it. We're going to pierce the atmosphere and start putting out a distress call. You know, uh, basically, oh, what's the right word? We're being attacked. Um, Please come and help. Cops 911. Whatever that is.
Okay. So, you're throwing out a distress beacon, trying to make things even harder for your antagonists. That sounds fantastic. And it sounds like you're trying to you could you could be trying to escalate a situation into violence. They are prepared, or you could try to manipulate the CIS into doing what you want. I think manipulate
Oh,
might be the best
yeah.
method to
Manipulate
use.
sounds like more like what I'm doing. Um, so I also have fast talk as a move for the scoundrel.
Ooh, yeah. Why don't you
Is that
do the thing
closer?
that's a playbook move? Yeah.
Yeah, that's well, and that is your story holds the consequences are your story holds together. You avoid entanglement, things like that. So I think that fits. So let me do fast. There it is. That is a 4.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you get on the comms as Valera is headed towards the giant droid control ship, that big donut that I'd shown a picture of before, and you are attempting to uh, convince them, hey, you need to take our trouble. And that's when Commander Africolos comes over and says, Tamtel? We'll cut away from you and back down to the Great Factory. Fennin and Antrisk, this recently constructed, very large, ancient load lifter droid, is coming down a narrow passage towards you. You have activated enough of this to where Tikkit is trying to wake up more of the Great Factory. You hear that evidently there's water rushing, and Tikkit is explaining excitedly in his Jawa chittering tongue that he's trying to get their backup generators, which are water cooled, battery powered items. He's trying to work on that right now. But you may need to deal with the droid, is what he informs you. What do you do? It's this thing.
I have a somewhat unrelated ticket question.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't have a robe, right? He doesn't have his Jawa robe. He was
Oh, he
frozen within.
did. It was in a little tiny
Okay, good.
package in um, the carbonite freezing chamber. He opened it up and got that because I was uncomfortable looking at him without
Okay,
a robe.
I see you've changed the picture and then it's like I don't want to look at that though. That's so rude and speciesist. But my goodness.
It is.
Uh,
No offense, but can you please cover yourself? Because you are horrid.
just for all of our sakes.
The good news is that you're not real, so I'm not offending anyone.
Yeah, the actual Jawa community will not be open arms about this.
It's true. No one
This
in
is
the
not when
Jawa.
rich kids cancel.
No.
Uh, I forget exactly what I was. I think I was just looking at the droid that's coming towards us because it's coming over like a bridge from
Uh-huh.
another.
Yeah, there was a bridge that went and extended out and hit the central location where you guys are in front of this ancient computer banks with a bunch of toggles and switches, and you can hear the little machines inside the control desk. They are. You remember an old hard drive, like a sound that it makes when it goes. That's a bit of what you hear from the control thing. The droid, however, coming along this seems to have good balance, doesn't seem to be teetering in any way, but isn't running. It is plodding towards you.
Inexorably approaching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a slasher from a horror movie. I got it. I understand what you're
Just look
but
back, look. How did he get closer?
it's not an assault droid, it's custodial. So it's not immediately obvious what to do with this thing. And it's a beautiful machine. So I think I'm kind of just appreciating it, ogling
Nice.
it a little bit. And so, Fannin, did you see this thing?
Um, so I was slicing into the system.
That's right. You were
Uh,
trying to get some of your own stuff going.
yeah, to try to, well, specifically, like my move was to slice a security system. So, I was trying to,
Sweet.
there was an alien voice in the computer system that seemed unhappy with us, and I was trying to calm it down or whatever.
All right.
And the choice that I didn't take was that it doesn't take very long. So I don't know if I'm still occupied with that.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long. You had so your slice remains in effect for as long as desired. You don't draw unwanted attention, which means
But it
that
was,
yep,
yeah, but it was going to take me a while. So
yeah.
I was
So it
hoping.
take you a while. So I think for this particular action, when Antris says, "Isn't it beautiful?" You're focused on slicing, and it is. You have not drawn unwanted attention, Fenna, which means that it is headed. Once it steps onto the platform where you are, it makes a beeline for Antrisk and extends. It's got those like claw pincher things, and it extends it out as it's walking towards you.
I'm I'm already dangerously close to it. I mean, I've made no moves to
Oh, then it
protect.
picks you up.
Well, if it's coming to grab me, then I will make a move because at that point I'm jolted out of my reverie and go, oh, okay. I should not just admire this machine. I should run from it. Is there a flea? I
That's
may
a
be
great
imagining.
question. So
Don't
I
think there is.
think facing danger is what would because make trouble is you're escalating a situation, throwdown is engaging an active threat, and you're trying to get out of it. So I think you're facing danger.
Yeah, I think it probably is. And that is always daring, which is what I raised when I went up a level. Fantastic for me. My drop down menu is not dropping down for me. Be nicer. That might be on my end though, so I saw the little gasp from you. Um, hmm, it doesn't seem to want to do that. All right. Well, I
What
will
did you
just
want to
roll.
do? You wanted to face danger?
Yeah, so I'll just roll
Boom. There
2d6.
you go. I just did it. I
Oh, you
think you're
did?
good.
I don't see it.
You don't
Uh,
see it?
no. I mean, I see it says face date. Oh, but you didn't hit the button.
I know.
Got it.
You get to have fun.
Thank you. Woo! 11.
Hey. So, and it tries to close its pinchers around your midsection. You tumble out of the way, and it turns and says something in a garbled, very mechanical sounding, like an echoey, deep bass within it. It says something in a language that has not been spoken for thousands of years.
Ooh, fascinating. And
And
now
it
I'm
continues
scrambling.
walking towards you. What do you do?
So who did you say it was walking towards?
Antrisk.
Oh, me again. Okay. I'm scrambling towards the other. biological life forms here, because I think Ticket and Fennin are pretty close together by the
They are.
machine.
Yeah, they're like they could rub shoulders if Ticket weren't so stinky. I think Fennin, that successful dodge that took your time, boom, you click you're in, and you can see logs of information. I'm imagining that Fennin, being a smart individual with slicing, maybe you have some kind of translator program that you're starting to set up.
Sure.
Seems
Yeah, that could be
seems
part of it.
appropriate. Right. Uh, what are you? So you're in. You've successfully sliced into this particular control center. You see that current active, triggered by user Tikkit. They're attempting to bring online all of the power bases, which will wake up the great factory. That is in process. Their last standing order to this from an external user is dated 4,000 years ago. And that was to construct a particular item that the great machine rejected that design schematic and began the shutdown process per protocols.
Hmm.
That we have just restarted.
Yeah. What do you wish to do?
I mean, I think I'm just trying to turn off any defenses, security systems, so that we can have free reign. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So you're shutting off the defenses. The construction droid, the custodial droid, stops moving, and then it's, and then the little indicator like winks off, and it stands inert.
What is Ticket doing?
Ah, Ticket is furiously trying to get this whole thing powered up because if the great machine has power, then it can do stuff and make amazing creations.
Not without swamp gas, though.
The swamp gas will, yeah. If you point that
That would
out,
make it much easier. I think
yes,
this,
better, better. Water
And,
batteries, old, corroded, bad, not good, not working. Need to fix.
and I'm assuming Fennin shares with us there was some program 4,000 years ago and the machine refused to carry out.
yeah.
So the Ticket should. I don't know if we should do it then. If the machine thinks it's bad.
Oh, bad design. Ticket fix it. Make better.
Look over at Fennin to get his read on this.
I mean, if we can get it to make droids, that's it's going to be worth quite a few credits.
If the droids don't try to squish people, did you see the possible squishing? You were busy. But it tried to squish me.
I was shutting that down. I knew you had
I
it under control.
appreciate the shutting down. I just wonder if multiples of squish droids are a good plan. Ticket, are you going to make them nice droids? Droids that listen to us? Look, I'm a ship girl. I'm not really sure about all this droid stuff.
Good droids listen to. Yes, Ticket make them great. Happy. Want one that dances?
Okay, that does sound pretty good. Dancing droids.
Don't
Uh,
don't not want a dancing droid.
uh, I want to find out what's going on with Ticket and his motivations.
Sure. I think that is a thing that makes sense to me, and I'd like to see you attempt to read a person.
Yeah, I wish my soul stat didn't go down last time. Wouldn't that have been nice?
Oh man. Now, there are other ways to increase your soul. You can reflect, and that's the thing we actually have as our wishes. I probably should have mentioned that at the top. Reflect and connect. So when you share your burden with a crewmate, You can shift your soul stat up by one if you roll well. And if you reflect, you can also shift your soul stat up or clear stress. So, a couple of options for you. Not sure that they're narratively appropriate in this particular moment, but sorry.
Fenton, I have to share my burden with you real quick. Just real quick before I do this. Oh gosh, and Fennon's soul is -2.
Got
Yikes.
no soul. He's a spy through and through.
Oh man. Okay. Um, if you could click me down to the reader person, because for some reason it ain't working on my end.
Let me make sure that I have shared this with your email. I have your Gmail.
Yeah, I mean it worked last session. I have no idea why it wouldn't be
Let
doing
me
it this time,
refresh
but
the page and see if that helps. I see you're
all right.
logged in twice. Oh, now you're just logged in once.
Ah. Well, it works when you put it in and I hit the roll, but okay, we
Happy
can.
to
Not
help.
the
Happy to help. You get a question.
Oh, but also it was wrong because it had my soul as 2, which is not what it is. Uh,
What?
so,
Oh, someone has written over the number. I will fix that.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, your soul is a 0, so that is a 5. Oh, so sad.
Straight up miss.
All right, there we go. I have notionally fixed it. Miss, the GM may have you ask one anyway, but expect trouble either way. Sure, I'll have you ask one anyway. Seems fun and problematic.
Do you remember that as the option? What does your character intend to do, Ticket?
Oh, cool. So Ticket will actually explain. Ticket bring great machine online. Ticket make all the robots. Ticket make whatever needs. Uh, and you get the feeling that Ticket sees no danger here whatsoever. That everything that is risky is a misunderstanding or just needs to be worked through. He's dead set on this. You also realize that bringing he lets he lets you know that bringing the water-based batteries online will do more harm than good eventually, but Ticket is rather sure that he can fix it before then, or the swamp gas will arrive. He's the engineer with a high intelligence and low wisdom.
Fair, fair. Uh, and a lot of belief in his own abilities, which is admirable,
He's very confident,
perhaps misguided.
possibly, maybe even likely.
All right, I don't know what I want to do with this guy. I mean, oh, big machine, that's exciting. Possibly getting killed by droids, less exciting. Possibly giving him his own droid army. I don't know. I don't know enough about Ticket and Arcia, I think is his partner.
Yeah, Arcia Santander.
Orlando Arcia.
That's right.
Sure.
Just call him Orlando Arcia if it makes it easier for you.
That is literally how I remembered
There you
characters'
go.
names. The
That's
ball
where it came
player.
from. Picking up what I'm putting down.
What's Fennon thinking on this?
Um,
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to intensify that. Antrist looks perplexed and is looking to you for support and help, and is very much playing a submissive role right now. Like, Fennon, you can fix the situation, right?
Are you sharing your burden with a crewmate?
I mean, sure, I'm not.
Okay.
So, connect. Uh,
I'll do the drop down. I think. Oh, yeah. This is a thing that I didn't program in. So you'll just roll a basic move. We'll have to do a bit of lookup. I'll stick connect and reflect in the die roller, move roller. Sorry.
so we have to ask questions. This is a questions and a stat,
Yeah, let's do it.
and come to an answer together. Did your hard choices prioritize their drive? So I guess that's asking my choices.
Yeah, sorry, pronouns will always mess me up. So when you share your burden with a crewmate, did your hard choice, so I think that's Antrisk's hard choices, prioritizing Finn's drive.
That's charity, and I feel like not really, not any.
Well, no, you're asking for help. You're asking for Finn's charity, help me out. It felt like that was the tone that you're going for.
What do you think, Brian?
Um,
You know what? If Rich is giving us a plus, we shouldn't argue.
If you want to argue yourself out of it, that sounds awesome.
Uh, have you shown them a new side of yourself?
Mm.
Is this a new side being vulnerable, and more passive, do you think?
um, I mean, from what we've seen in play, I mean, it's been before this, it's been Fennin, you in your workshop where you're in charge and
Oh yeah. Yeah, good point.
more confident. Yeah.
That was our opening scene. And I do share an established bond. So fantastic. That's a +3.
Yeah, and you roll plus soul, and then take a +1 for each yes answer.
Oops, not a
So a
4.
total of +3. You can just add that. Don't put it in stat. Yeah, you put it in add modifier. Exactly right. That is great.
And it's an
Oh.
11.
Sweet. So on a 10 plus, you work through it together. Share vulnerability or secret. You work through it together, period. Share a vulnerability or secret. You may establish a shared bond or replace an existing bond and mark experience. Otherwise, each of you choose. Clear your stress. Shift your soul stat up by 1 to a +3 max.
So I'm going to take the soul. Uh, I'm guessing Fennon's also going to take the soul
Same.
because Fennon was at the point of looking to see if it goes down to -3 or not for the session, perhaps. It doesn't. Good news, everybody. And share, it doesn't have a pronoun for share a vulnerability or a secret. I'm definitely going to do it. And I guess, Brian, if you have one, do you want to do for Fennon? It doesn't really say if that's both ways or just the one way. I say, I tell Fennon that the last time I put my trust in someone, it was my family, and they did not come through. They did not support me. Uh, they didn't, they didn't give me the net I needed, and they let me fall. So please don't do that here.
Um, as that moment is taking place, you've read Tikkit, you've reached out to Finn, and we see several strips of lights start to activate, and it like lights up, and then it becomes that weird glowy thing where it starts to go out and comes back on. As obviously the power isn't strong or consistent, but Tikkit is giggling excitedly because he has brought up some of the auxiliary powers for the Great Factory. And you, Fan, would hear, well, both of you would hear, he's going to speak in basic. What last order? Huh. Fannin, understand last order? What design?
Uh, can I try to use what this, you know, what do we call it, the translation software that I've set up to try to
Yeah, why don't you piece it
fig
together?
help figure out?
Although it could, well, interesting. So assess gives you some questions, piece together similar to a discern realities. You tell me which one you think is more appropriate for what you want.
Yeah, piece together. That makes sense. Ooh, 6.
Expect bad news.
Is it too late to help? Is that
It is
also
not. It is not too late to help. How do you want to help?
let's see. So are you totally in the machine for this? Like you're trying to decode the order?
Yeah, I'm like using what I set up with my slicing gear to try to like, I don't know, help him decipher the instructions
Okay.
that are left in this
I mean, I
system.
think then when you're dealing with software, I'm gonna reach in there elbow deep in the hardware, uh,
Nice.
monkey around and cut the wire to the rubidium shifter and decrease the power to the argon electroceramic capacitor.
Fantastic. I think so. The GM is supposed to say which stat to roll for this. I think logic makes sense. That's what you normally use to fix stuff. That's what you're trying to do.
You know, I love my logic.
It's true. You do. Let me see if I can
So
do your helper interfere. Helper interfere.
0.
Okay. Yeah, because it is yeah, you'll just input into add modifier your logic and then
Oh, I should put my logic in for the modifier? Okay.
yeah.
T.
You program in helper
It's
interfere and connect and yep, got stuff to do.
uh
7. So, on
oh,
a helper interfere 7 and 9, they take +1 help. That would push your 6 to a 7. So we'll just add that modifier 1. We kit. The GM will give you an interesting answer, but it's up to you to make it useful. You realize that the name of the device is called a stellar degenerator.
oh, you nailed making that interesting.
It's up to you to make it useful.
We might
That's
need to
it.
sit on that for a while if you want to cut back to
Why
10.
great machine not use stellar degenerator? And then we'll cut away from that. To Tamtel as you are watching. I think when we snap back into this, we hear a low hum and there are things vibrating inside the ship. And Valera says, "Okay, good news, Cap. The Pikes have left." And we see, we like spin back and we see the Pike light freighter trying to escape and a couple of vultures. These are the droid starfighters chasing after it while you guys are caught in a tractor beam. Being drugged towards the droid control ship. Bad news, Cap. We're in the tractor beam again. I don't think it's going to go as well this time. Does she know you?
So I think we were just hailed by Commander Kolos,
Uh
right?
huh. And I kind of hard framed you into she's tried to tractor beam you in. If you're
Yeah.
okay with that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I lean over and I hit the mute button on the console and I turn to Valera and I said, "You're the captain now." And then I unmute and I say, Ephra, honey, is that you?"
It is you.
Yes. We were in great danger. I hope you can get
Were
rid
you
of those
hiding from
miserable
me the last time I inspected the ship?
hiding. Absolutely not. What 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 happened? You've been on the Orbos before? Orbach
Yes, just
before?
less than a solar day away from now. I inspected the ship and allowed it to go down to the surface of Yelsane. I had no idea you were on board, Temtel.
I had no idea that you'd pulled us over. I thought that, oh, I was just told that we were inspected. That's normal whenever we arrive. I was in my cabin. I didn't know that you were here. If I had, that would have been fantastic. Um, I'm so glad that you were able to help us out. And I'm looking forward to seeing you. Um, and I would recommend that you send um a couple more ships after the ship that attacked us. They looked really dangerous.
Indeed. If you genuinely want her to send enough force to try to potentially to either drive off the pikes or possibly destroy them, I'll have you manipulate here. Otherwise, you make the
Yeah.
suggestion and she'll take it under advisement and think that two vultures should do the job.
No, I think I actually do want to do that. I'll
All right.
manipulate. Um,
Sorry, you also are specialized in this. If you want to fast talk her into it, that's cool too.
I think manipulate might be a better move in this case. Let me make sure I see. Yeah, they'll do it for a reason. While I'm lying my ass off to her, right? I'm doing this in a personal way. And to be honest, my skin really isn't in the game about with the pikes and the vulture droids and all of that. My intention is really to get her on my side and that she's, helping out, a fellow citizen. So I think manipulate's the right call here. That's a 9.
They'll do it, but only if you give them supporting evidence, compromise or favor first. She says, "You're right. I did notice some pike markings on their ship. I'll send a few more vultures, but Temtel, that will buy us some time to reconnect,
That sounds
since I'm keeping you safe."
that was going to happen anyway. I have to warn you, the reason I suggested this is because it looked like they had like a whole base down there. We were flying, looking at we were looking at cargo like wood and stuff that we'd be bringing back. Once we um leave this area, but
Yeah, I
um,
did notice that you haven't paid the 5% tariff.
yeah, we're working on that. But the deal is that it looked like
Mhm.
they had like a whole like drug base down there or something. So
Well,
I
that's
just wanted to let you
definitely
know
not
that
in my
that was really
logs.
scary.
That's a thing we'll check out. Thank you for that notification.
So the 5% tariff we'll pay as soon as we can. It turns out our business, you know how it is. Um, no one wants to pay. So we offloaded our fuel that we had,
Hmm.
and we're looking for a buyer. A good friend of mine, and boy, I don't remember who I talked to.
Oh,
Um,
you're talking about the
Ferric Narek.
Eric.
Yeah, I talked to a Mr. Solcar who said he might be interested, but we might have to take a loss on this. So I'm looking to, get get product to go back,
Hmm.
and it's tough out here. Do you know how tough out here it is?
Well, we do what we can. I would say that one of the reasons it's so tough is that the Republic doesn't care about this place. Darling, I'm sorry. Tamtel, let's just get you aboard and we'll work through everything, including your little tariff problem.
Oh, that's such a relief. I'm so glad to hear from you. The universe could not have been better to me about this.
And then click availers. I think she likes you.
I think this is a problem. Valera, you're the captain. I'm just the business associate. Um, don't say anything because it could get us in trouble.
Okay.
Especially don't contradict me. Um,
Sure. Right.
you know how I work. We'll get out of this. It'll be
Still figuring it out.
fantastic. Yeah.
Genuinely still figuring it out, sir.
Mhm. Don't call me sir.
Tamtel. Or
Thank you.
should I go Screech? Should I do the last name thing? I worked for one captain who he had no idea Valera, but he was
No,
always
no,
just
just
calling me by my last name. Surnames
just call me
speaking vague.
Tantel. That keeps it.
Okay. Are
Yeah.
we together? Should I be really familiar?
No, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
That would be weird
So,
anyway. I don't want to.
um, and if I'm not mistaken, Rich, we've offloaded the swamp
Yeah.
gas that we had for Antrisk and Finnan. Um, okay. Okay.
Oh wait, just do check in. I think the swamp gas was offloaded back at Trader Town,
But did it go to the?
or is it at the
I
Great
I
Machine?
thought I thought it was still on the ship.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think it's with Antrisk and Finnan
Yeah.
because you
okay.
guys had to go down in a speeder, and I couldn't
And I thought
imagine.
we offloaded it once we landed.
I'm
No,
okay
because
with that. I
the
think it was
job
unclean.
no, because the Jawa wanted it for the factory, so
Okay,
we were in theory we were all headed to the factory, and then yeah.
and
And
then
then
we got
took longer.
distracted. Okay,
Yeah, I thought we were
so
holding
it's
on
still on the
to
ship. I'm fine with that.
to figure out, do we want to sell it to this guy, that guy, use it for the machine?
Okay,
Okay, so the swamp gas is. What do we all agree? Where is the swamp gas on the ship?
it's on the ship. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. That sounds awesome. So you've given some quick instructions to Valera on your expectations for her and her acting captain role, and the last bit is the Orback being pulled into the hangar on the droid control ship. And I think that's where we'll take our mid-game bio break. It's not exactly mid-game, but that's where we'll do it. So let's do that thing. Okay. So as we have in our pre-break, we've established that the swamp gas is aboard the Orback, which is currently in the droid control ship, which I should name. I just realized that as I'm narrating this, I wish I'd thought of it 3 minutes ago so that I could have a name, but instead it is a CIS ship. Do we think that they're gonna? You know what? I'm just stealing from Lady Blackbird. We're gonna call it the Hand of. Help me out, Keith. What hand of? Not Hand of Vengeance, but like
Oh, Sorrow?
the Hand of Sorrow.
I think that's what it is from Lady Blackbird. If you want to steal directly, but you can make it a hand of anything.
Oh, let's do Hand of Sorrow. I like the Hand of Sorrow. It's Hand of Sorrow.
I'm curious what you know.
CIS Hand of Sorrow. Commander Ephra over the. I'd love to, as Temtel is being escorted genially by some battle droids to meet with Commander Ephra Kolos. I'd love to do a little bit of paint the scene type thing of what are a couple of things that Temtel notices that clearly communicates this is a droid control ship built to warehouse and control and deploy droids, and there's very little creature comforts or thoughts of bioorganics that are obvious in this droid control ship. I want each of you to throw out a particular aspect or something that Temtel might notice on his way to the small quarters where Commander Ephra Kolos has made it home, like a home, homely. That sounds ugly. Homey. There we go. Not homely. Ideas, Keith?
Okay.
Oh, so I thought you were just going on.
Keith and Brian, I am asking you to help me
Yeah.
paint the scene with
Got it.
a
You're including us
couple
now.
of, yeah, this is not made for organics.
Yeah,
Is what,
not
I don't
nothing is padded.
there you go. All hard angles and surfaces. Yeah, we already know that in Star Wars there's no such thing as guardrails, but this is a step further.
I don't think battle droids get full like oil baths. But there's like some kind of oil mister that they walk through, and so like getting a bit of oil mist over you is pretty unavoidable because they'll just spray at the wrong time, and you'll get some off spray from that.
Amtel, do you try to leave Valera behind when the battle droids, sir, we're only here for Tamtel.
Absolutely. Valera stays on the ship. It's her responsibility. Yes.
Um, I'm the captain, she announces to the droids, and I'll just stay here on the ship, getting her ready to go and captain stuff. I'm captaining.
Um, I think the battle droids, as they take me through the hallways towards where Ephra is, because they don't get full oil baths, they specifically detour into the areas where the oil misters are.
Oh, yeah, that hits the spot. Roger, Roger.
And I think I kind of I pull out like a handkerchief and I kind of wipe my face off a little bit, but you can still see the oil in my hair.
It's
How
awesome.
does Tikkit make that look good?
Sweet. Door opens up, and inside you see there's soft lighting. There's a table there with food on it, like a little candlelight thing going on. You can see there's a viewport that looks down onto Yelsane, this beautiful green planet, very healthy. And Ephra is seated across from you. It's like it's not shot for shot, but it's a little bit of a mirror of when Han Solo like with Lando steps into the long dinner table with Darth Vader at the end, but instead smaller table, food on it, and Ephra Kalos, who she's unzipped her like like that far. She's unzipped. Not that we see zippers, because I read an article that zippers are not allowed in any Star Wars costuming. I thought that was really interesting. But somehow the uniform like there's just a little bit of the skin here, no cleavage, but just a little bit. Like she's breaking regs, and she raises a glass. Towntel.
And I step in and
Droid
I
pushes
kind
you
of,
in.
yeah, I think I step in, the door closes behind me, and I step up almost as if I'm owning the table, but I step right up to her and I lean over and I take her hand and I kiss the back of it and I say, Ephra, you've certainly made well for yourself. I'm jealous of how well you're doing.
You haven't changed one iota, Towntel. God, you
Why
look
would I
good. I
change?
love what you've done
Yeah,
with your hair. And she like runs her fingers through your greasy hair, recently greased, literal greased hair. Love what you've done with
yeah.
your hair. It looks very fetching.
Oh, this is nothing. Um, ah, come to the rescue. You rescued me again.
Have a seat. Something to eat, Temto. It's been too
Oh.
long.
And I'll take the drink, and take a sip of it, but just pay attention to her the whole time. Yeah.
Tam, this mission with Yelsane, we've met with some success, but also been stymied. It's important. I think if I can pull this off, I'll no longer be aboard the Hand of Sorrow. I could take command of something more grandiose.
Something better than this?
Oh, yes. Something actually made for organics to exist in. You've seen it. It's spacious, but still.
Um,
This is more of a hangar than it is a ship.
well, I wish you good fortune. And
What if we
uh,
have
you know,
good fortune, Temtel? You know, joining the Confederacy of Independent Systems is easy.
you know
Rising
that
through
my
the ranks
history.
as I have is challenging, but I could put a word in for you. We could get you. You could serve me. You could be an advisor to me.
Oh, okay. I sit down and I take her hand in mine and I say, I'm sorry, Ephra. My my past's catching up with me. And you know that my family's an important one. What you don't know is that they've disowned me, and that would be a problem for the Confederation. They would not welcome me the way they've welcomed you. And um, my family certainly would have a problem with this. There's all sorts of politics that would go on that I don't want to involve you in. That's my problem.
The GM is sitting here saying, "Oh, there's no lies detected. This is all absolutely true. You're not even lying. You're not even fast talking, but you're still trying to get her to back off, right? And
Yeah.
bringing you on
Manipulate, maybe?
board is not going to work. So I think manipulate. Yeah,
Okay. Ooh, that's a six.
I'm well aware of what trouble you bring, Temtel. Lucky for me, your family has aligned themselves with the Republic. In fact, you working for me would you'd be thumbing your nose at the Republic. It works out. It really does. You were meant to be here. That's why I'm so happy I saved you. If I were religious, I would say that perhaps the Force wills us to be together, but I'm not. So instead, I'll say, I'm just lucky.
Hmm.
I think I can even convince the CIS to allow you to keep your ship. That is your ship, right?
Well, my partners and I on that ship have business, and I can't abandon them. It was tough enough whenever I left you. Um, you wouldn't want me to leave them. They're they're just trying to scrape by like I have been.
Hmm. Well, we've cataloged the swamp gas that you have on board. I'm sure there's more lucrative cargo that you could carry off. Why don't we do this for now, Temtel? You record a message that we can use to broadcast that you've allied yourself with the CIS. It'll bring shame to your family, which they've disowned you, and you've chosen the light over the darkness. In exchange, I can waive the tariff. I've got a list of some really choice cargo that you could take off of Yelsane, and you and your partners will do well. What do you think about that, Temtel?
Um, I think that sounds like an offer I can't refuse.
So Rich is just reminding that you have a line. I will not cross betray my family again. I am
Yeah,
pushing hard on that. So I just want to make sure
yeah,
that that's clear.
that's clear. Yes.
Sweet. So yeah, that answer can stand. I just want to make sure.
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
want to feel like I'm pulling a fast one on you.
And just to keep things on board, because I'll forget it if it happens next session or something. Um, my plan is to do exactly as she requested, make a recording, except I'm going to drop, the family code word or whatever that is, that there's distress happening here. So that I'm not betraying my family. They know there's a problem and can evaluate it that way.
Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
we do a
Just to keep
quick.
my line in
Yeah, she
yeah.
gives you a little script to read. It speaks
Oh,
specifically about your family on Corellia. If we're going for the maybe this is Lando. I think they're from Corellian, freighting a family in Corellia. I don't care. It's fine. So
mhm.
speak specifically to your family, and you are pledging your allegiance, and you work in a little bit of ad lib that says, yes, this is under duress. Um, and yeah, I think that's your plan. I think you're trying to sneak that in. And Ephra's bought in. She thinks, oh man, this is everything is coming up Kalos. But there are other figures aboard this. I think you need to avoid notice for them.
Yeah, and that is subtle. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that. I could just do the pull down. Avoid notice. That's a 5. Man.
Amazing. Sweet. So you've finished the recording, and I think we like cut to the thing where you're on a metal chair and there's a light because they need to have you well lit, but it's very much like an interrogation light, and you're speaking into a hollow recorder, and they've got this. There's a B1 droid that's holding up the data pad with the information. You slip in your ad libs and the like, and everything
Uh-huh.
feels good. And Afra, she comes up and you're done, and she kisses your forehead. This is perfect. I'm so happy. I just need to get this through processing, and everything will be fine. Oh, by the way, we found some irregularities with your captain of the ship, and unfortunately, she's going to need to be detained. So I'm taking care of that right
Alira?
now. But after that, yeah, the blue girl. Uh, but you'll be able to go, no problem. And then she takes off with a couple of the droids that will go through processing to get this broadcast out. And you are left on the chair when knowing that Valora has been arrested. We're going to cut away from you to
If you
Antrisk.
don't
Oh, yeah.
mind, if you don't mind, um, I'd like to escalate that hard move just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I think they edit. So obviously I was trying to avoid notice and didn't. I think they edit out my ad lib whenever it's broadcast.
Thank you for making explicit what was in the back of my mind. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We will find out later when it is broadcast. They've edited out your ad libs. So it very much 100% looks with a couple of little baby micro jump cuts that you sold out your family. Amazing. What happens if you cross a line, take a trauma when the scene ends? So let's talk about that. Do you feel like you crossed that line?
I think I walked up to it and I took a risk and it didn't work out for me. So I would say so.
Cool. Awesome. We get to explore this. So if you do the hover over online, if you cross a line, take a trauma when the scene ends. When you take a trauma, you clear your stress, set your soul stat to 0, no big deal, and choose one. Cross out a line is no longer a priority. Cross out a bond. Both players mark experience. This bond cannot be replaced. If you have no lines left to cross, you may abandon your drive. Cross it out and replace it with a warped version. If you've already abandoned your drive and have nothing left to cross, you're broken with no way back to what you were. Wow.
Can I make up a different drive?
Yes, if you're not super happy with Liberty, yeah. What are you
I think
interested in?
there's 4 of them, and I think I'll cross out my drive and maybe change it to penance.
Interesting. Okay, like a twisted version
Or
instead of
I'm
Liberty is penance. Okay.
is so let's see. I thought I could cross it out, drive, and add a new one. Is that right?
Um, it does say you can
Oh, but it has to be a
cross
warped version.
a warped version. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking if I crossed out freedom and said instead of looking for my own liberty, I would be looking for trying to get absolution or something, but that doesn't fit this trauma. Um, what is my bonds? My bonds are with Finran as a confidant and Antress as romantic. Whenever it says a bond cannot be replaced, does that mean you can never have a bond with that person again?
That's what I'm taking from it.
I
It's
think that's
something
right.
I'll read up to validate, but again, this is an ash can, so I'm not
Yeah,
clear on that.
I read it that way as well. And I think in that case, I'm going to then burn a bond, and I'll burn my bond with Antrisk in that
She's
I
romantic.
um basically romantic is my romantic entanglements have gotten me in too much trouble. So I'm going to cut that
Uh,
off.
and thanks for the XP. I do appreciate that.
Oh, that's right. We both get XP?
Yes, you both do.
Mhm.
I'm an XP machine this session.
So much XP.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, I'm glad we
That's
worked
a
through
good
it.
aside
Thank
to
you. That
explore.
was a great suggestion and escalation. I really appreciate it. And we got to see what crossing a line, what that does. So very, very cool. No complaints from me.
Rich,
Interest,
if you don't know, you don't have to look it up, but I'm just curious. Do you know how we get new lines? Do we just
new lines and new that is, I believe, through the reflect and connect. But let me double check that real quick.
okay.
Draw a new line. Yep. So you can draw a new line to avoid more hard choices, draw a new line to avoid repeating past mistakes. So it's mostly through reflect and connect.
And
Cool.
just to point this out, I didn't realize this last session. I looked into the Reflect and Connect a little bit more, and they're super interesting moves.
Yeah,
Connect, you ask questions and add one. Reflect, you ask questions and subtract one for each yes answer.
that's awesome.
It's super interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Keith and I were first talking through a few options that I had to run, and Keith said, "I think this one has the most compelling, interesting stuff." And so I said, "Yeah, let's go with that," and I'm glad for it. All right, let's jump back in with our remaining time because no, I have a whole other hour. Sorry, time zones. I have a whole other hour. Cheese and crackers. Okay, with our remaining time still, because what else are we going to do with it? Let's jump back to Antrisk and Fennin. So you have deactivated this droid. You have found that the last order to the Great Factory was to create a stellar degenerator, whatever that means, and it refused the order and shut itself down oh so long ago. Perhaps that had a bit to do with the culture of Yeltsin saying no technology. Perhaps not. Could be just, happy circumstance. Who knows? But Tikkit has brought the auxiliary power online enough for lights to start winking on, um, and the factory is slowly coming to life, but it's in fits and starts. This is very unstable territory you're on. Tikkit though says, no problem, can fix.
Uh, I think I need to hear Stellar Degenerator secondhand. So I'm wondering if that is something that Fennin mentions, that Ticket mentions, or if everybody tries to withhold for me, or what's happening with that.
No, yeah, I think I'm the one working the translator. Um, yeah, it looks like it got shut down because someone tried to have it manufacture a stellar degenerator. That sounds that sounds
Bad,
bad.
bad, interesting,
Yeah.
but probably bad.
I mean, I feel like it sounds like something we're more likely to get killed for than paid for. I mean, maybe both, but probably not just paid. And I don't know if I want to get paid for something called a stellar degenerator anyway. So, uh, maybe we could just purge the plans for that out of the system and get to just making some nice profitable droids and pretend we didn't see anything about any.
Degeneration could have several meanings, right? I mean, it could be making the star go back to a previous state. And maybe that would be good if there was a star that was going to go nova and you want to kind of take it back a little bit. Or it could mean breaking it into its component parts, which in that case, I could see why you wouldn't want to do that. That could cause all kinds of havoc from the planets that are orbiting. But I guess it does generally have a connotation of getting worse or going from like a higher state to a low. I think this goes on for a while. Do you want to cut her off, or would you like the being Bothan-splained semantics?
um, I'm wondering if I have the skills to try to like just delete on stellar generator.
Do you just
Oh,
want to do it while I'm talking? I love
yeah.
it.
If you're looking to ticket Ticket will, as you're talking, Tickets go to C. Fenn wants to just, like, he wants to keep this. move order to slicing kit, finna and then delete from machine and sell,
Uh,
or put
sure.
on data crystals. The Ticket starts looking around. And Ticket keep. So finna, no worry. Research.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, you go look for data crystals. I'm trying to delete.
Okay. Ticket is going to try to save the information then. I think that you guys are in a race to
Uh,
do this. Let us see if you could beat him. Uh, 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 uh. Looking first at your playbook moves. Um, I don't know if insecure really works here,
no, I
so
don't think so.
I think you are face danger? I don't know.
Uh, it's almost throw down.
It's almost throw down. All right, here's what
Um,
we're gonna do.
well, except it's not exchanging harm really, but
Yeah, yeah.
make
But
trouble.
instead of so we're in custom move territory at this point because why not? Uh, let's say that the harm is the data file. Um, Ticket is trying to do harm as in saving it. You're trying to do harm as in deleting it. Let's say that it has 5 harm, and we'll do this as a round of whoever does 5 harm first uh, is the one that has completed the program. And we'll see how that goes. That sounds like an option. Yay. Throw down on a hacking, got mad hacking skills. Oh, is that modifier still applicable? Okay.
No, I don't think so. 7.
Okay, so you exchange harm. Let's say that your slicing kit does 2 harm by default. You can deal extra harm, or you can
Sure.
take less harm, which means that we'll say that that means Ticket does. He normally would do 2 harm, and if you say take less harm, he's only going to do 1 harm to try to pull down the file in an uncorrupted
Let's
way.
let's let's just do extra harm. Let's not slow this process down.
All right, so you do 3, he does 2. I'm keeping track on a piece of paper because I'm high tech that way.
Uh, does grit make sense as the stat if it's slicing rather than punching?
That's a
I mean,
fair
when it's
question.
slicing under pressure like this, I don't know.
Mental persistence is under grit, and a
Okay,
willingness to finish fights. It's a little bit wonky. And now
that
feel
makes
like I
more
should
sense
build
than
a
I thought. Just,
custom. Uh Interest, you're in the middle of all of the hedging and logicking when you realize that Fennin and Ticket have stopped listening and are quickly coding their little butts off.
what is
We were both hoping you would be distracting the other one.
it's that it's neither one. What was Ticket rummaging around the physical space for
Yeah,
data crystal?
yeah.
Or,
That's what he's doing. He's trying to grab a little data crystal and plug it in the right area and trying to get it to download the information for the previous order, the last entered order.
so, I mean, I think Antrisk is still sort of like, I don't know what the best course of action is, but I mean, Fennin is my adopted family in some sense. So like I'm
Hmm.
going with that, whether or not I think that's the right idea. So I'm gonna help Ticket try to get the data crystal in the right port to slow him down.
Okay, so you're technically interfering,
Yes.
but I think do we think I love the idea of the move of avoid notice, but it's very specific to not this, I think.
Just sneaky, sneaky. Um, well,
I think it maybe could work. All right. So
I mean, I
if you get a 10 plus on avoid notice, his 2 harm this next round will be 0 harm. Because you're in and he's not on to you. And then on the 7 to 9 option, we'll work our way through it. Finnan, you're going to need to throw down one more time, at least.
notice, and it's a
So we're
0.
currently Finn in 3, Tick Tick 2. 5 is the number you have to reach. Oh
Rolled
my.
a one.
A
Oh, ouch.
1 on 2 dice is pretty impressive. This is just maybe grit is the worst choice for you, but we are sticking to those guns. Sweet. You run into a bit where you realize you're going to have to download more of the, or no, sorry, you're deleting. You're not downloading. There are countermeasures to extricating this information. And I think what happens is it starts building another droid quickly, and now it has power. So it is building a defense droid, and this one is built for actual defense instead of exploratory custodial functions. So the pieces of a disc type thing. It looks like it can fly and it is coming your way. Meanwhile, Antrisk, you're trying to avoid notice while helping Tick Tick, but really sabotaging his work. You got the roll? Did you already roll that? 7?
Yeah, take it.
You changed the move and everything? What
Yeah, I
changed?
just closed the browser and reopened it. As
Awesome.
long as it's not
We'll
wrong.
blame the browser. Pick one. You're in, but your presence is under scrutiny, which means Ticket realizes you're being sneaky, or you encounter an obstacle partway in too.
I mean, I feel like the first one is narratively easier, where it's like he realizes what I'm doing, but I've still slowed him down a bit while doing it. So maybe that's like
All
-1
right.
harm.
Yeah. So he goes up to 3. Finnan, you are still at 3, and you're going to have to try a different pathway. It's on to you. It knows that you're trying to delete data. And while it didn't want to follow the order, it doesn't want the logs disturbed. So you may need to do something different. What do you want to do? Next round, Ticket will try to get past Antris to finish off his hack. He's at 3. You are at 3.
And he could do all three. Ticket could if
Yeah, he does 2 per round if unimpeded. He's
oh,
at
okay.
3 because he went 2, 1 because you interfered and he noticed, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So he looks up at you. Stop helping Ticket. Ticket got this.
So, I mean, maybe, so I've partially done this. So I've deleted like out of the main system and there's just some backup uh station and I'll just smash it.
Amazing. That's awesome. Let's have you do that thing. Throw down. Or you've escalated a situation to violence against an unprepared target. It doesn't know that's what's going on. Say what you want and roll daring. Here we go. Sorry, I think that instead of the throwdown, make escalating
Make trouble.
a situation is make trouble, which
Make sure.
it goes against a different stat for you and is a little bit better.
Hey.
Oh, hit what you want. The situation is unstable. You may be forced or unable to deal harm. I think, yeah, you break it just as Ticket says, Ticket got it. Need to check. And that is when a flying disc droid hovers in and fires on you guys. My hard move is that I want to see what the damage system looks like. So it fires on both, on Finnan, who just harmed it. So I like to say that it does 3 harm. Do you have any armor?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, yeah, it zips past. It kind of looks like a hat, like a wide brim hat, and it just rotates around like a classic saucer UFO saucer type, but there are a pair of eyes. I'm kind of imagining a droid that meets the Evil Hat from Evil Hat Productions. For some reason, I don't know why that's in my head, but that is generally the design of this weird thing that has zipped past. It's fired a couple of blaster bolts that hit you, Venom, for a total of 3. That is a lot of damage. Holy crap. Um, So you go from no harm to serious. Yeah, there we go. So you have a -2 where applicable, but you can always take a stress to ignore it for a roll. Um,
Oh, so it's not to ignore the harm, so ignore the -2.
correct.
Yeah.
Uh, Antrisk, that little flying droid just shot Finnan, and Ticket thinks that he has successfully downloaded the info and but needs to check it. And this thing zips around and is coming around for another pass. What do you wish to do?
So as far as I know, in their race, it seems like Ticket has won.
Ticket claims victory.
All right. Well, based on that information, I take out a wrench and bonk him on the head. Uh,
Amazing. He is unprepared. You want to
yeah,
knock him out,
we did
so
not.
make
I got
trouble.
making some trouble, which I am not quite good enough at.
Oh my, you're in someone's crosshairs and they have what you want, mark and XP. So mark and XP for the miss. I think you reach and Ticket sees just the last second and scrambles out of the way. He's holding a little data crystal to his greedy little his heart, and he's going to try to scamper off of the platform. That is his plan. Finnan, this thing's coming back around for a second shot at you. It did a lot before. What do you want to do about that?
I have a portable jamming device. I don't
Ooh,
think it's going to totally disable a combat droid, but maybe just take its weapons offline, give us a little bit
temporarily
of,
disrupting electronic
yeah.
devices. Yeah, you cut off his communications. This sounds awesome. Let us see if you can. Yeah, I think face danger feels like what you're doing. Does that feel right to you? Although,
Sure.
yeah, daring's better than grit for you. Or were you angling towards a different kind of move?
No, that's fine. Face
Okay.
danger. And this might disrupt um Ticket's device too, maybe.
Yep.
Okay. Face danger. 7.
Okay. You're exposed to danger, but still able to act. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. So you're trying to use your jamming device to take this thing offline, or at least break its communication so it's no longer receiving orders. This is a drone more than a droid. So I think that is successful, right? You do the thing. You face danger and you have taken out the comm unit. You're stable, you're exposed to danger. I think if you're
Oh, I should
okay.
say I
Oh,
also spent a stress to not be -2 on that
oh,
one. I
right, right, right. Thank
almost
you.
forgot to
Thank you for
mark that.
that. Appreciate that. Very honorable of you. I have forgotten to push you on that. So thank you. Here's my worst outcome. Antrisk has just tried to clunk Ticket on the head. The worst outcome is that Ticket's going to get to a small little access ladder and climb away. You, Finnan, know you bonked that thing before it looked like he got all of the data. Maybe he has 80%, 60% of a stellar degenerator order plans design, but he's going to get to that ladder and try to get the heck out of here. You guys are no longer his friends. Does that feel like an appropriate weak hit?
That's
Okay.
fair.
So the saucer droid like no longer knows the targeting system or axis, so it starts doing a patrol, kind of falling back to a not sure who to shoot at, not sure what my orders were. I feel a little forgetful. Um, and Antrisk, you see that Ticket scampers away, jumps onto one of the little side panel, like it's going down a little access ladder very quickly. Uh, what do you do?
So the drone is still flying around. It's just not.
It is. It's no longer firing on anyone. It's doing that like you see a little indicator light, like it's waiting for orders.
I'm I'm gonna look at Fennon quickly and try to get his read on what has happened with the data, because as far as I know, it was 100% success for Ticket.
Yeah. I don't think he got a full download, but I'm not really anxious to let him run off with our speeder or whatever he has planned anyway. But then I'm gonna ghost.
You're a master of stealth and infiltration.
Okay. I was like, is that a move or are you just
That
chatting
is
with
my
me?
move.
You're gonna ghost Antrisk. I used to like you, but sweet.
I, I don't know, leap into the shadows.
Oh,
I'll spend another stress.
yeah. I love how much stress you're spending. This is great.
It's great. It's great. I love it. There we go. 10. Okay.
Nice. You vanish. Hold two. Oh man, that is wicked. This move is cool. Antrisk, you been in communicate. Yeah, I don't think he got it all, but you're not happy about that. And then you look down to where Ticket's moving. I don't know why, but I'm thinking of Extras 3 when the old lady was climbing on the ceiling. That's how fast he moves. Just doesn't seem like Jawa should move that quickly. Then we look back to ask Finnan a question or figure out what to do next. He's gone.
I mean, that's not super surprising, right? That's a thing that
Finnan's
Fenn
really good at disappearing.
does,
Master
uh,
of stealth and infiltration.
and infiltration. So I don't think that worries me, but well, you know what? I actually think it does still a little bit because, like, I'm not surprised that he's gone, but that doesn't tell me where he's gone to. Um, but chasing after people is not really something that I'm good at. But perhaps um, taking this drone and repurposing it might be something that I'm good at. And then I can send it off in its fast little spinny, spinny way.
Ooh,
Um,
fun.
if you're okay with
So,
that being fix it.
yeah. So I like that. What we'll do is we'll contain fix it in you running up and kind of jumping up to grab it. And so if you roll poorly, maybe you don't do as well as you intended. But let's have you see if you can fix it.
So we'll unclick. There it is. And I will spend my remaining scrap. So hopefully I do get to scrap something because I'm scrapless. Well, it's a good thing I did because that just got me up to 7.
It was perfect use of scrap. It won't hold for long. You choose two. It affects far more or less than you wanted. It's more difficult than you thought. Spin +1 scrap. Ooh, if you can't choose that, it'll take a while or draw unwanted attention.
I would love some unwanted attention.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it won't hold for long.
Sweet. Fantastic. So you reach up, you grab the thing, you start working on a way to modify it and use it as your own little personal drone. And as you are finishing off, maybe the red indicator turns green, right? We use that cinematic language of, oh, the color is different colors, so other things have happened. And you hear Antrisk, uh, it kind of resonates across the metal bridge, the platform where you've been. Bothan, female. Stop.
That's coming across the bridge, right?
Yeah, it's kind of echoing, emanating, feeling it in your
Hey,
feet.
plenty far away. Uh, I'm guessing. Well, you tell me how you think I'm controlling the drone.
Ooh, I think you have full control of the drone. You succeeded at the move. So I don't know. Is this a thing where you think you've got an indicator? You've just put a simple set of commands in it and it responds to your voice. It's Star Wars. We can.
Yeah, all right. There's probably a handheld. controller of some unknown provenance that I had in my scav pack.
Okay.
I am gonna run away from the voice, while sending the drone ahead to act as support for whatever Fennin gets up to.
Okay. Um, so you ignoring the voice then?
I mean, it told me to stop, which doesn't sound like it's friendly.
Uh-huh.
If an ancient technology wanted to be friendly, yeah, sounds great. Like, hey, Bothan female, what's up? Let's chat about tech. Then I would not run. But if it's
Okay.
telling me to stop, it probably isn't nice.
Amazing. That is fantastic. And I think you're just trying to get the hell away from this thing. So you're gonna try to access someplace. I don't know if it's not. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. What do we think this is to put yourself at risk? It's not imminent danger. I think you're trying to get avoidance notice. I feel like that's what you're trying to do. This thing is watching you and telling you to stop. You're ignoring it and doing your own thing. Is that fair?
Yeah, please,
Okay.
please leave me alone. So let's see if we can avoid some notice. And my subtle is 0, so that is appropriate. Not a subtle lady. And it's a 7 again.
Hey, a 7 is not terrible.
I think the way to read, well, let's go nobody's on to you. So the voice is not locating me, but I've encountered an obstacle. Something has gone wrong.
Uh, I I love the thrust of these moves and especially the names of the moves, but some of the results are a little a little too narrow, I'm
Yeah.
finding. Um, just a little tweak, a little tweaky tweak. Sweet. So yeah, nobody's on to you. You avoid the voice, whatever limited understanding it has, but you run into an obstacle. Sweet. We'll deal with that in a moment. Bannon, you silently follow the Jawa known as Tikkit. And you see that Tikkit heads down to a tertiary command input area and has asked the factory to create it a mode of transportation and a communication device. It thinks that Tikkit thinks free and clear, got away using the machine, making stuff. What do you want to do?
Guess it would be throw down?
Oh, actually, I think if you do somebody who's not
Or no. Is
aware,
that,
um,
is that not what that? Yeah, no, it's not throw down. I'm sorry. Make trouble. That's what it is,
yeah,
right?
make trouble.
Make trouble.
What's your intent? Just gonna clonk him on the head, knock him out? Gonna
I
shoot him?
guess, yeah. I mean, well, I don't have I have what is it? I have a retractable blade is what I have.
Yeah,
So I
does
guess
three
get him to
harm.
just surrender, you know. Yeah, I don't want to stab him with it if he'll just, surrender
Okay.
would be the hope. Uh, what is it? It's make triple. I guess I need to spend stress again.
So much stress spent.
Ooh, but I got a 10.
All right, he is caught off guard. You get what you want as close as they can manage. Choose whether to deal harm. So you just melt out of the shadows and have the drop on him.
Yep, I've got a blade to his throat, essentially.
Thought Fannin was friends. Thought Antrisk was friends, but everyone try hurt Ticket. Ticket's a
I know,
scientist.
I know. It. it got messy there. But we just we all calmed down. You could still we could still you know, we can make droids and you could still have your fair cut.
Star Killer's so cool. Ticket want to make.
Yeah, I can't let that happen. And I guess what did he have? He had a little crystal. If I could just like smash that
Yeah.
crystal.
Okay. And we cut to Temtel. You're still seated at the chair after being told that your pilot has been arrested for things that have nothing to do with work you've done. It's not your fault. It's not your problem. Just let it go. And you've sold out your family, and the commander Ephra has other work to do.
Um, it sounds. I'm sorry, Efra. It, without Valera, we can't. We're dead in the water. We can't fly the ship. She's the only one who knows it well enough for us to be able to fly. Is there anything we can do so that
I'll get you
she's
a
not
droid pilot.
detained?
Normally, the pilots are built in the droids, but we have a few that I can reprogram. There's no problem. And you don't even have to give it a share.
A droid pilot won't work with this ship. The ship is so old and it requires Valera's specific knowledge. I mean, there's no way that, I mean, a droid pilot wouldn't have gotten us out of that last issue whenever the ship was chasing us. A droid pilot would have just gotten us killed.
I don't want that. Uh, I guess you're just gonna have to pick up a different pilot. Down at Trader Town, they have a number of folks. I'm sure that you can hire someone away. I'll
Well,
look to see if we can get a stipend your way, or with a
what's the
new.
problem with Valera? Why are you detaining her?
Oh, well, she's actually she went AWOL, so she left the CIS without leave, went absent without leave. So unfortunately, she's up on charges. They'll be shipping her back to Slukamai. If you want to hire a barrister, even the Brodian that you mentioned before, he's a barrister from Slukamai. Maybe he can handle the case. I don't know.
Is there not anything you can do? Um, I want to read a person.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. I'm not good at that. I'm average at that. That's a 7.
Okay, with the 7, you get to ask a question.
Um, how could I get Ephra to turn a to let Valera go?
Mm, you, I don't think you've encountered Ephra at in this level of command, right? She was
All right,
probably just
she's
a,
matured. Yes.
yeah, she was a rinky-dink at best, maybe second lieutenant when you knew her before. And she rose fast and then stopped. She is desperately lonely. The only organics she interacts with are people under her power or those people who are trying to kill her. How can you get her to turn a blind eye? Is to appeal to that, to appeal to her, to offer her something to assuage her loneliness, to offer some kind of intimacy or affection. Those are the things that she craves. And honestly, you realize having Valera out of the picture benefits her because it ties you to her a little bit. Does that seem fair? Make sense?
It does. Um, so I think I ease up to her and I kind of get next to her and I say, it's been a long time since you've been around people, but you've got to understand, you know. people are important, and Valera's an important person to me, and hopefully to you, because
You
you're
like her,
important to
don't you?
me.
I thought maybe fate was just gave us another chance.
I mean, we can have another
She's
chance, but
prettier than I am, isn't she?
no, of course not. This is about her job as a part of the ship, not about
But
her
then you
and
could be the
me.
captain. She she doesn't need to be the captain. You can be the
She's much better at being able to fly the ship than I am. Um, the jobs that we do can't be done um, without expertise. And can you tell me honestly that you've never thought about leaving the CIS? And I look around at the cold, sharp edges. This is not a place for someone of your beauty and character. Um, you don't, I wish there was something that you could do to help us leave and make sure that this didn't impact us or you.
I think you finally very cleverly walked your way up to either manipulate or fast talk. You tell me which one you think best. I mean, I'll give you a +1 because you're playing into all that you've learned about her in these few moments.
I certainly don't have any leverage here. Am I deceiving or conning someone? Um, I'm definitely trying to con her into breaking the law. So I think so. I think that's probably a fast talk. Um, that fast talk, the answers don't really indicate anything like they'll do it. Manipulate, I think, is better because it says they'll do it. So I'll do a manipulate.
Okay, works for me.
Manipulate. That's a 7. Um, only if I give them supporting evidence, a compromise, or a favor. Um, what if I stay here and you let Valera and the rest of the crew go?
You stay here with me.
Um, I will stay here in Valera's place.
I couldn't arrest you, Temtel. You're not the one who went to AWOL. But I could. She.
I mean, no one would know if she ran off in the ship.
No, you're right. I could do that.
And you have bigger priorities like uh the Pikes, did you say? The
Yes, it's the Pike Syndicate. They're making forays into this interest. There's something very important on Yelsane that I have to get.
Yeah? I mean,
You could help me.
is
We
it
could
worth a
work
lot of
together.
money?
I'll make sure that you're properly compensated for your efforts. You and the rest of your crew. Well, I guess it's just you and me now.
It's just you and me now. Um, I would, of course, send part of my cut to the crew
Your choice.
because that's their job. That's part of the job that we took on together. But yes,
That's fair. You're always such
yeah.
a good-hearted person. That's why I fell in love with you, Temtel.
Oh, Ephra. I think I step. Oh, I'm going to step forward and seduce her. There's not a
Ah,
seduce move, is there? Right?
uh, is there?
I don't think so. But I think we can just fade to black. Basically, step forward, step into her embrace,
Nice.
and yeah.
Sounds awesome. Let's swing back to Antrisk. You using the evil hat drone. Terrible name. The worst name possibly, of this entire game session. But using the drone, you have commanded it, and you find that Fennin has captured Tikkit. Ticket had gone down. He was near all the water-cooled auxiliary power batteries, and Fennon's stopped him. Fennon, as you're standing somewhat near, you can smell the amount of rust here is shocking, and it just the oxidized scent is so strong, and you can actually hear water dripping out of places, a little fissure, like a steam coming out from the giant ancient water batteries. It's not in great shape. Ticket's looking glum, but the hood hides most of it, so you don't have to worry.
You can tell by the eyes. This is
Mhm.
sadness.
These
Um,
little CGI, so the eyes have like Spider-Man animation where they show emotion.
I originally was setting the drone here to be I mean a +1, right? That's what I was kind of using it as, a +1 if you need to do anything. And I arrived a little too late, but the situation has changed for Antrisk in particular. I'm hiding in like a broom closet or something right now. Well, there's a booming voice, but I don't think this thing is good or even designed to communicate anything. Um, so I think maybe and let me know if you want to make this a roll or whatever, Rich, that I only get like across like things bad, help please.
Yeah, I don't like it. So yes, the droid tells you things bad. The drone tells you things bad. Help, please.
Well, I'll follow it wherever it leads, I guess.
Cool. It would lead. We'll say it leads back to Antrisk. And as you are heading back up the um ladder, imagine the ladder like it's just rungs that are built into the actual control center there that go up for hundreds of feet. And you make your way back to the platform, follow the little drone, and because it doesn't have to move on the ground, so it keeps circling back. It does a thing where it goes ahead of you and then it circles back, and eventually, that's right, your program won't last for long. Sweet, but it seems urgent. And Finnan, do you allow Ticket to come along with you? Do you leave him behind? Do you knock him out? What?
No, he can come along.
Yeah, he will. He's definitely not moving as fast as he was before. He's less motivated. But you hear in basic human male, stop,
Hello? Who are you?
control.
Is Fennin back in the original chamber where all the action took place?
Yeah, I think Finn is up on the platform not far from Antris where you're hiding. You overhear that now this thing is talking at Fennin. So you can like sneak out of the closet
Yeah.
if you would like.
I stick my head out. It did that to me too.
Machine
What?
under threat.
Uh,
Machine not under threat?
Incorrect.
would some
Machine not. Sorry, go ahead.
would some swamp gas make you feel better? So we're gonna get some any moment now.
Machine under threat.
Machine not want to make stellar degenerator. now won't. Meaningful look at Fedin. Like, I'm really not sure what that big deal, but
Correct.
male, human, and female Bothan are heroes.
Machine under threat.
What's
Shrugging at
the
Fedin. You do
what's the
so.
what's the threat?
And then it lets forth a number of things in an ancient language that you don't speak. No one has spoken for a very, very long time. It has moved from broken language, broken basic to I don't know how else to communicate this. Uh,
There aren't
it's a
words in
great deal of
basic.
information. I have to give it forth in the only way I know how.
I'm worried our water batteries are about to.
It
You think
stops
that's a
talking.
threat?
It stops talking when you mention that. Machine under threat.
Yeah, maybe we need to shut those down until, and then we can maybe once we get the swamp gas, we can power things back up. But
Water batteries threat.
I give Fennin an admiring look at that point, like, wow, you did take care of the situation.
Aw. It's like a little connect moment there.
Let's do it.
And
This
then
sounds
Tikkit
like
will say, but if we turn off the batteries, you won't have power control.
shut up, Ticket.
You're mean.
I
Taking it like
wanted to be friends with you.
you hit Ticket with a wrench. You know, friend. Uh, it doesn't
This
answer.
basically escalated.
So if you guys want
we
to head down and shut down the water batteries, or maybe you don't even have to head down. Maybe you can do it from here. How do you want to turn off the water batteries? It will turn off control. It will turn off all of the machines other than the little bit you had power from the battery pack, and you can easily disconnect that. The machine will become inert and inoperable, but it has done the calculations and it will become maybe irrevocably inoperable if it doesn't do this.
Okay, I mean, it's. I'm picturing it like we have to temporarily shut down the heart to do the surgery. So
Sounds like you're going to face some danger to try to get this done. Let's see you do it. You act in the face of danger, roll plus daring.
okay. Is that in there now? Yeah, it is. Okay.
Oh, and it's pulling up the stat correctly. Good.
Yep. Yeah, it is. 13.
I do not know why it's displaying a 5 and a 6 in red. I'm going to change that in conditional formatting. That is very confusing. But that is a very good, strong hit. You do it no problem. What does that look like? Is that a thing where you physically go down to shut down the batteries? Do you do it from control up here, several stories above where you are on the platform, or something else entirely?
I mean, I think it requires getting dirty. Like, I was gonna say artistically dirty, but I think maybe like dirty, dirty. Like, it's a little adorable when she comes out of the ventilation shafts and just takes off the goggles, and there's a little bit of clean fur around the eyes. But
Made a clean
like,
spot. It's great.
she was crawling around in the phaser turbine bracket, and like it was up to the elbows in the rust. So I might need a tetanus shot after this.
Fair enough. The machine has gone inert. It is no longer moving. The You can hear some of the water splooshed out of the batteries, but nothing seems to be escalating. You have avoided chaos. What do you do?
Feels good. Right? We're happy about that. And we want to get, I mean, you maybe promised a machine. I don't know how binding that is, that we were going to do the swamp gas. I mean, that's
I
the most
mean,
interesting, right? Like, we want to,
I'm sure our captain's going to be showing up with it at any moment.
Any minute now.
It's been long enough.
Oh,
We
that
look
seems
at
like
our
the perfect
watches.
chance, perfect time for us to cut to Temtel. So you have convinced Commander Ephra to Kolos that you'll stay with her and Valera can be released with the ship. Was this you telling Valera to go down to Yelsane? Are you going to try to escape with her? What's the plan?
Um, I think I'm going to have Valera go down to pick up Antrisk and Fennin. They must be desperately waiting to figure out what's going on with us. Um, and let them know what's going on. I think I'll secret a communicator so I can keep in contact with everyone else. But I'm going to stay with Ephra for now. The last thing anyone needs, Hypo or Finnan or Andrisk, is for me to bring down the CIS on them. I mean, we need to wait till things settle out, and then I'll see if I can't slip away. Um, so that's the plan right now.
Okay. Cool. So, yeah, Antrisk and Fennin, we do a screen wipe, and you see the Orbach coming down and landing near the place where you guys have deposited your speeder, and the gangway opens up, and Hypo and Valera, but not Temtel, come out with some of the swamp gas. Valera says, I got in trouble and we got caught, but Temtel is working on it. He told me to come down and get you guys out
Oh,
of here.
out of here? We want to be in here looking at Fenton like, right? We want to fire this puppy up.
And Hypo says, there's a problem. They're seeking this. The CIS are looking for this.
For this.
Where you are.
So we don't
Well,
want
I mean, once we have a cargo hold full of droids, they can have it, I guess.
Oh, well, good. Because we need to free Temtel. He's in trouble.
could have mentioned that at the beginning.
Sorry. Yeah.
What do we need to do first? Like, is someone pointing a gun at him? Could you be more specific?
Let's flash back a little bit, and I think what you see is Valera relates that my girlfriend seems to be a part of the CIS and is treating me lavishly. And um and I'm like, oh well, you should go down and make the trade for the swamp gas and take care of business first.
I think we could do the business first and save Temtel once we can get paid. Or once we get paid. I don't know, paying. We need to get paid.
Oh, yes. Actually, can we get paid first and then do other stuff? Because we're dangerously close to another -1 soul.
Let's do that. So you have swamp gas. Um, and looking at time, this kind of feels like a let's wrap it up with you guys installing the swamp gas. Is the plan install swamp gas to reactivate the great factory and use it to make you a bunch of stuff you can offload on another world?
I think
It
so.
seems like it, right?
Awesome. That is a thing you can pull off. Temtel has bought you time, and you are using your time wisely. Luckily, the Pikes, while they don't like you, they don't know about this machine, nor do they care about it. They are trying to wrap things up, even though they have the CIS on their butt. So feels like we have space for potentially some like reflect and connect for at least Finnan and Antrisk.
So the one before was the connect.
Yeah.
So reflect.
So you reflect.
When you're confronted with the effects of your actions, consider your priorities. Answer the following. So I think, yeah, that is a good point for that, where it's like, we had originally intended to come here and just sell our swamp gas, and now we're activating an ancient factory to produce droids of which we don't know the exact function or quality or future purpose. And I think this is, I mean, it's a self-reflection. One, it seems like specifically per person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did my hard choices prioritize something above my drive? My drive was belonging, and I feel like the reason I went with this option is because Fenton wanted to do it. So I think not
Okay.
about my drive. Does someone I respect think less of me now? Tamtel, Fenton, theoretical hypo.
Hypo is neutral. He doesn't think less of you.
He's incapable of thought for the next second. Do I wish things had gone differently? I mean, I get to see the machine work, so probably ultimately no. Take -1 for each yes, and I'm rolling plus soul with no minuses. And is that in the moves? I don't
It is not. So
so. Okay.
just change it to move. I am working on getting that in. That is one of my
Move. So then the
wishes.
stack goes in, and I'll add a modifier of 1 because of the soul. Oh, but I gotta unclick and then reclick. It's a 9.
A niner. Okay. On a 9, you did what you had to do. Reflect on a hard choice you don't regret. Clear your stress if you do one of the following: cut loose and blow off steam someplace. GM will ask you how it goes too far, it gets out of hand. Shift your soul stat down by 1, or draw a new line to avoid more hard choices.
It's kind of boring because I don't have any stress. So I'm not gonna do any of those to clear it. Um, hard choice I don't regret. You know what? Trying to hit Tikkit with a wrench. Like you're messing with my family. So yeah, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. Sometimes that's hit people with a wrench. Oh, Rich, you're muted if you said anything.
Sorry, Beaker is barking his little head out. Hopefully, Zoom is not causing trouble. So, that is what you do. What about Finn? Let's have you reflect. I do think, even though you're not with other PCs, the way reflect reads is the thing we can do with Temtel. So let's do that. Let's work through all three of them. But Brian, if you could for Finn, let's work through it.
Sure. Did my hard choices prioritize something above my drive? What is my drive? Charity? I don't think so. Did someone I respect think less of me now? I don't think so. Do I wish things had gone differently? I mean, other than being shot? I think we're okay. Okay, so I just roll soul. It's -1. Oh no. 2.
You rolled a
Having a
two,
crisis of
a
faith.
total of 2. Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Crisis of faith. Reflect on a time you made the wrong decision. Suffer one stress and pick one. Take reckless or dangerous action to reaffirm your identity. Draw a new line to avoid repeating past mistakes. Shift your soul stat down by one. Woof.
Uh, okay, I'll draw a new line. I'll have to figure out what that is. I'm out of stress
Yeah, you are.
and seriously injured. Yeah, not in the best shape.
You need a stitcher.
I do.
And I have received confirmation. You won't have a stitcher next week. Mark also is not available, so we'll talk through that at the end of the session. But let's shift over to Temtel.
Okay, so I'm going to reflect and I'm confronted with the effects of my actions and consider my priorities of my situation right now. Um, did my hard choices prioritize something above my drive? My drive is liberty. And yes, absolutely it did. My hard choices led me to give up my liberty at this point. Um, does someone I respect think less of me now? I don't think I respect Ephra, but I respect the rest of the crew. And don't think they would think less of me for making sure that they can get the job done and stay free. Um, unless you want to say something. No? Okay.
I don't believe so.
Um, and yes, I wish things had gone differently. So that's a -2. And let me roll.
That should now be in the move roller.
Okay. I added it to the modifier. I got a
Okay.
0. So, oh, do you get an XP for that?
Yeah. If you roll a fail.
Okay. Yeah, so 0. I'm having a crisis of fate. Reflect on the time that you made the wrong decision. I think it's very uncomfortable. I've been given quarters here. They're right next to Ephra's. Ephra's have some level of humanity. Mine don't.
Yeah. That sounds perfect.
Yeah. So I think I've I've balled up that cape and put it underneath my head, and I'm twisting around trying to get a little bit of rest. I suffer a stress and pick one. I want to draw a new line. Um, if we were a session ahead where it was time for me to leave, I'd take reckless or dangerous action to reaffirm my identity because that would be perfect. But I think at this point I want to draw a new line. Um, I'm trying to think of what that could be. Um, something along the lines of, oh, I'm gonna connect it up with my loss of a bond. Something about romantic entanglements um, are more trouble than they're worth. How's that sound?
Sounds appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay. We also have an end of session move. The crew spends time to catch their breath, take stock, answer the following together. Did you discover something significant about your environment?
Yes.
Did you overcome a worthy opponent or obstacle? For sure. So that's 2 XP for everybody. Did you score enough to keep getting by? I think yes. Like you did the droids, you score enough to keep getting by. So you're getting by. I think you scored big, actually. Right? You got a droid making factory and you can make some really good ancient droids. They're classic. They're vintage droids.
Fit right in.
Awesome. So let's talk about wishes. More of this, keep going. We did that. More of this, reflecting connect moves. We did that. Mark not here next session. We did that. See soul step moves. So man, we did great. Good job, everybody, with hitting our wishes. Proud of you. Let's do some session 3 wishes. Who has wishes? Start with wishes so we can end with stars. Who has wishes?
I'll start with a wish. I wish to get to back together with the rest of the crew. Not sure how to do that, but yes.
Yeah, that's also one of my wishes is to reunite the party. Although I guess my wishes are not for next time. Um, we established in the beginning that I need hypo for an ongoing treatment of dialysis, so I'd love to see that happen at some point, or at least the urgency of it needing to happen, causing us to try to do things. And that would also tie into getting some more time on the ship and perhaps my workshop.
Um, if we're not going to have a session next week,
Let's
do we
finish
only
wishes
have
and
one
we'll have
session
that
left?
conversation. Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
need to talk about that.
Okay.
But let's blaze through wishes and then we'll settle that out. Did you have any wishes,
Okay.
Brian?
Yeah, I mean the same thing. Yeah, it'd be good to get the whole crew back together, and yeah, that's it.
Cool. Any stars, Brian?
Um, I mean, had a good time, stars all around. Yeah, I
All
think
star
that's it.
Fennon for the use of your stealth perfectly timed and resolving things with Tikkit was really, really great. I really appreciated that. Keith, did you have any stars?
Yeah, I loved the Stellar Degenerator, the name and everything around it was delightful. Love getting to see more battle droids. You do such a wonderful job of embodying them. And it almost makes me want to seek more of them out. As bad an idea as that would probably end up being. And enjoyed having the time with Fennin and the romantic tension. And I loved seeing Suave Tamtel.
For sure. Yeah, that was great. You definitely pulled that off. That was great. Steven, did you have any last stars?
Yeah, I was kind of jealous. I like seeing all the action that was there in the factory and like Ticket being like, "Oh no, we're gonna make this big bad thing, and I'm gonna get all this stuff," and you guys were like, "Oh, we need to knock you out and you know put you back in line." That was a lot of fun, and especially Keith, like, I want to see the machine. I want to see it work. That would be so good. Oh, but that machine's bad. This is a bad thing. So that was very delightful. And again, Rich putting us in these situations where we could all shine was great. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I've
Mhm.
really enjoyed this. I've realized that the shape of it, I'm like, oh man, we're not hitting a lot of moves. So I'm glad that we stumbled into a few because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna have this weird machine and see what they do with it. I'm like, oh man. Started you guys being patient as we navigated through some move results that took a little bit of finagling to make sure that they applied to
So
our
speaking of
narratives. And
which, Mhm.
Oh, that reminds me that I would like to throw something out there in case the designers are watching this as a play test. I am not picking my jury rig move for the wrench because the full 2 on a 10 plus. The best you could get is +1 to help someone with negative consequences. So I think jury rig needs looking at,
well, um,
not by us.
um, I'll mention another thing, which is that uh, during this session, So hope in a oh
Yeah, okay. I think we oh,
Oh,
Hello?
hey, he's
hello.
hey
back.
Rich.
Cool. You guys were giving feedback on some of the moves. What I heard was Andrew was talking about why you haven't used jerry rig, and then Steven, you started talking about a particular move. That's when Zoom just went kaput on me. I turned off my video in hopes things would be better. You guys seem really clear now. Am I
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
Yeah. We saw number one. Do you need to restart the recording? Is it on or not?
It says it's recording, so I think that
Okay.
it's still good.
What I said, I don't know if this got recorded, but I'll repeat it. I I had enough moves and enough fails that I leveled up twice during this.
Wow.
So yeah, so I took a stat bump, and then the second one was one of the moves is to get two improvements to the ship. So I took two improvements to the ship, so I added one defense and one firepower. So in a future session, hopefully we'll see the secretly installed guns pop out or something like that. So
That's lovely. Fantastic. Oh, awesome. Good stuff. Thanks for your patience there. Yeah, it went from like not much trouble to wow, everything chunked and I couldn't see anybody moving and I could occasionally hear words and then it died. So, anything else folks have before we talk scheduling? But we'll do that off recording. We'll just get that resolved in a minute.
Uh, I took pack rat to be able to carry 5 scrap. How
Nice.
much scrap have I gotten from this factory?
5 scrap, like as much as you can carry
Rich in
for sure.
scrap and friends.
oh, I think I have something I want to add to the wish, which is, I want to see a discussion. Do we leave this behind for the CIS, this factory behind for the CIS, or do we sabotage it?
Good question.
I don't, Steven doesn't have a preference, but I'd like to see that discussion.
I think it's fair that you should have that conversation.
Yeah,
Let me warn you, Tikkit does not want to destroy factory. Do not
of
destroy
course.
factory. Factory
I'm,
good.
I'm less worried about it if it doesn't come with a stellar degenerator.
It doesn't. You have successfully destroyed those plans and then destroyed the data crystal that had a certain percentage of those plans. So it is, if it exists, it is not in this factory. Sweet. I'm going to go ahead and bring the recording to a close. Thank you guys so much for playing.